Okay, we're gonna continue reading chapter 11, Trapped. Okay, the boys are all at the bottom of the stairs in a big pile. Three figures huddled on the widow's walk on top of the Hatfords' house. Rain beat steadily down on their yellow slickers and the air was cold. Y'all, even if we catch pneumonia and die, it's worth it. I'm telling you, Caroline said, with her teeth chattering. Even if we fall off the roof and break both legs? Yes, absolutely, said Eddie. Let's do it one more time, said Beth. No, wait, didn't you hear them running? Let's wait until they think they've forgotten about it and then do it again, said Eddie. And then all the girls giggled. It had all started when Beth heard a group of women called Sweet Honey in the Rock on the radio singing a song they had written called Emergency. She had called the others in to listen. Caroline wasn't sure how they did it, but using only their voices, the singers had managed to make themselves sound just like a fire engine, each singing a different pitch, but rising and falling together at exactly the same time. So Caroline, Beth, and Eddie had gone out in the garage and laid on the loft, practicing quietly, and they did it. Not as well as Sweet Honey in the Rock, but well enough. What's more, they discovered that if they kept their voices soft and wavered them just a little, they sounded like something none of them have ever heard before. Not really a siren, but not quite human, not quite animal. As soon as they discovered that, they knew what they were going to do. Never had they felt such power. Oh my gosh, how long should we wait? How long should we wait? I'm so soggy. I'm going to grow mushrooms, said Beth. Okay, we have to lull them into thinking that they're imagining things, said Eddie. Caroline smiled to herself in the dark as she huddled in the corner of the widow's walk. She had been so embarrassed when Mr. Hatford called, asking for his boxer briefs back. And then to have to walk down the bridge with Mr. Hatford watching and exchange things with Wally, it was just too much. A humiliation that dreadful needed revenge. She almost wished it were daylight and clear so that she could see over Buckman. It felt strange being up here on the Hatford's roof at night, and she imagined how much fun the boys must have spying on her and her sisters when the family first moved in. If she and Eddie and Beth had lived over here, and if it were the Hatfords moving in, she had no doubt they would have been spying on them too. But that was beside the point. She wasn't even sure what the point was anymore, except that she and Beth and Eddie had never had so much excitement back in Ohio, and she hoped they would not go back when the year was up. Okay, here we go, we're ready, let's do it again, said Eddie. All three girls leaned down over the trap door of the roof, mouths close against the crack. 1, 2, 3, go. And then they sang the song, the terrible electrifying song that started low and soft and rose higher and higher, louder and louder, tapering off into nothing, like the wind. There was a thud of running feet once more from inside. Closet doors opening and closing, yells, squares of yellow light appearing on the lawn as lights were on all over the house. We're driving them absolutely nuts. Eddie's grinned. Positively bonkers, said Caroline. How long are we going to keep doing this, till they come running and screaming out of the house with their hands up? It was a question they really hadn't discussed. Why don't we keep it up until their parents get home, said Beth. Because our parents will be home, and we would have a lot of explaining to do, said Eddie. What time is it? Eddie tried to steer a watch in the darkness. Ooh, I think it's 8:30. 15 more minutes then, said Caroline. Mom said not to expect them back before 9. That will give us time to get home, put the ladder away, and be ready for Mom and Dad. The footsteps and door banging went on for some time before the house grew quiet again. Once more, Beth gave the signal, and once more the three girls leaned over, noses almost touching the roof, and made the sound that rose and fell like the wind. This time they wavered their voices so that the song sounded even more eerie, kind of like a ghost. When they stopped, however, there was no noise from below. No voices, no footsteps. It was silent. The girls did it again a little louder and waited. Still nothing. Caroline looked over the side of the railing. There were no squares of yellow light on the lawn, meaning that the boys had turned out all the lights again. What were the boys up to? She and Eddie and Beth exchanged glances. Maybe they left. Maybe they just silently closed up and headed for school to get their parents, said Beth. Oh, wouldn't that be funny, said Beth. Wait, We could do this again sometime when their folks are away, Beth laughed. We can drive them wild. We could actually drive them right out of Buckman, and then we'd have the town to ourselves, said Caroline. They waited for a few minutes longer. Wait, if the boys had gone to the school to get their parents, it meant that the Hatfords' car could be turning in at any moment. We better get out of here, said Eddie. Carefully, they climbed over the side of the widow's walk, then made their way down the sloping roof, scooting along the seat of their pants, slowly, cautiously grasping the shingles with their fingertips as they came. Caroline in the lead. But when she reached the place she had left the ladder, Caroline realized the ladder was gone. Woo-hoo! Came a yell from the yard below, and the four Hatford brothers emerged from the porch, yelling like banshees in the darkness. For the second time, Caroline's face went blood red. Are you kidding me? There was nothing left to do but surrender at this point, she thought. Put the ladder back up, yelled Eddie. Woohoo, woohoo, ha, ha, ha. The boys were running around in the rain, laughing at the girls. You wanted to get up there, you're up there, said Jake. Have a great time. You want some pillows? You can sleep up there if you want to, yelled Josh. It was beginning to rain harder now. It came down in huge drops like water splashing out of a basin. Wally, yelled Caroline, but the boys only laughed and ducked under the porch roof. What had been fun before was scary now. Because of the rain and the dark, it was harder to walk to move around. Come on, said Beth, I've got an idea. Caroline and Eddie followed clumsily, strands of wet hair blowing in their faces. Caroline felt wet through and through. They reached the railing around the widow's walk and crawled under. I just have a hunch, Beth said, bending over the trapdoor. Help me lift it, Eddie, she said. See if it's latched. All three girls edged their fingers beneath the rim of the lid to the trapdoor and tugged. Just as Beth suspected, it was open. The girls stared down into total darkness. Are there stairs? Caroline leaned over and put one arm down as far as it would reach. No. I guess we're just gonna have to jump, said Eddie. We don't dare. We don't know what's down there. What good is this going to be then? We gotta get down. Just wait, Beth told her. We're gonna keep the door open. You'll see. There was hail along with the rain now. Smaller stones at first, and then larger stones. Oh, it's hailing on them. Woo-hoo-hoo, yelled the boys delightedly on the porch below. Hey guys, let's go inside where it's warm and dry. Yeah, let's make some hot chocolate, said Wally. Ooh, with marshmallows, said Peter. There was a sound of a door slamming as the boys went back in. A minute went by, then two or three. The rain and hail was hitting the floor beneath the trapdoor. The girls could hear it. Suddenly, a light came on, illuminating the Hatford's attic and the stepladder beneath it. Hail was pinging against the floor. There was already a large puddle of water in the house. Hey, screamed Wally. Jake, they've opened the trap door. They're letting water in. Feet pounded on the stairs, and Caroline looked down into Josh and Jake's angry faces. Close the trap, Jake demanded. You're going to ruin our floor. We got to get down somehow, said Caroline. A car was pulling in the driveway. Your folks are home, said Eddie. Okay, come on, come down. Get out of here, hurry up, yelled Josh. Caroline slid inside, holding onto the raised edge around the opening of the trap until her feet were securely on top of a stepladder. Eddie came next, and finally Beth, pulling the door closed behind her. Hurry, said Josh, pushing them towards the stairs to the second floor, and then thundered down the stairs, the boys at their heels. But it was too late. Just as Caroline reached the front door, it opened, and Mr. and Miss Hatford walked in. Well, hello, said Caroline, and then just as fast as she said that, she said, goodbye, and she ran out the door, followed by her sisters. Okay, next is chapter 12, letters. We will see what that holds for us. I love you all. Mwah. We should be finished. We don't have very much left. A little bit left, and we'll move on to the next one. Mwah. I love you all. I will see you next time.